The pretty little Swiss town of Meienfeld lies at the foot of a mountain range, whose grim, rugged peaks tower high above the valley below. Behind the town, a footpath winds gently up to the heights. The grass on the lower slopes is poor, but the air is fragrant with the scent of mountain flowers from the rich pasture land higher up. One sunny June morning, a tall, sturdy young woman was climbing up the path. She had a bundle in one hand and held a little girl about 5 years old by the other. The child's sunburnt cheeks were flushed, which was not surprising, for though the sun was hot, she was wrapped up as though it was midwinter. It was difficult to see what she was like, for she was wearing 2 frocks, one on top of the other, and had a large red scarf wound round and round her as well. She looked like some shapeless bundle of clothing trudging uphill on a pair of hobnailed boots. After climbing for about an hour, they came to the little village of Dorfli, halfway up the mountain. This was the woman's old home, and people called to her from their houses all the way up the street. She did not say much in reply, but went on her way without stopping, until she reached the last house. There, a voice from within hailed her. "Half a minute, Diti," it said. "I'll come with you if you're going any farther." Diti stood still, but the little girl slipped her hand free and sat down on the ground. "Tired, Heidi?" Diti asked her. "No, but I'm very hot," the child replied. "We'll soon be there. Just keep going and see what long strides you can take, and we'll arrive in another hour." At that moment, a plump, pleasant-faced woman came out of the house and joined them. The little girl got up and followed as the 2 grown-ups went ahead, gossiping hard about people who lived in Dorfli or round about. "Where are you going with the child, Diti?" the village woman asked after a while. "I suppose she's the orphan your sister left?" "That's right," Diti replied. "I'm taking her up to Uncle. She'll have to stay with him now." "What? Stay with Uncle Alp on the mountain? You must be crazy. How can you think of such a thing? But of course he'll soon send you about your business if you suggest that to him." "Why should he? He's her grandfather, and it's high time he did something for her. I've looked after her up to now, but I don't mind telling you I'm not going to turn down a good job like the one I've just been offered because of her. Her grandfather must do his duty." "If he were like other people, that might be all right," retorted Barbie. "But you know what he is. What does he know about looking after a child, and such a young one, too? She'll never stand the life up there. Where's this job you're after?" "In Germany," said Diti. "A wonderful job with a good family in Frankfurt. Last summer they stayed in the hotel at Regatz, where I've been working as chambermaid. They had rooms on the floor I look after. They wanted to take me back with them then, but I couldn't get away. Now they've come back and have asked me again. This time I'm certainly going." "Well, I'm glad I'm not that poor child," said Barbie, throwing up her hands in dismay. "Nobody really knows what's the matter with that old man, but he won't have anything to do with anybody, and he hasn't set foot in a church for years. When he does come down from the mountain with his big stick in his hand, and that doesn't happen often, everybody scuttles out of his way. They're all scared stiff of him. He looks so wild with those bristling grey eyebrows and that dreadful beard. He's not the sort of person one would want to meet alone on the mountain." "That's as may be, but he's got to look after his grandchild now, and if she comes to any harm, that'll be his fault, not mine." "I wonder what he's got on his conscience to make him live all alone up there and hardly ever show his face," Barbie wondered. "There are all sorts of rumours, but I expect you know the whole story. Your sister must have told you plenty about him, didn't she?" "Yes, she did, but I'm not telling. If he heard I'd been talking about him, I should catch it all right.